Today, as we celebrate Good Friday, we celebrate a somber day, the day that Jesus died for our salvation. And today is proof positive, so to speak, of how much God loves us. So much that he was willing to die for us. And Good Friday is really a paradox, because today we walk with Jesus and we stand with Jesus at the foot of the cross as he suffers and dies for our salvation. In the eyes of the world, Jesus is defeated. He's a condemned criminal. He's been executed by the Romans. He's suffered unimaginably, and he dies. But the interesting paradox is that God doesn't allow that to be the final chapter. Through the suffering and death of Christ, God ushers in a new world order, the resurrection and the defeat of sin and death. By Jesus freely embracing his suffering and death, he shows that God does his best work with the unexpected, what we call the paradox of the cross. People would never expect such a horrible scene as we see behind me on Calvary to yield such a great effect in the freedom from sin and death for all of us. And I think today, as we celebrate that paradox in Jesus' life, it's also a reminder that God continues to work those paradoxes in our life. The suffering, the challenges, and the difficulties we endure can often be instruments that God uses to bring about new life, to turn our lives in a different direction, or to give us an unimaginable blessing. I'm sure when the Blessed Virgin, St. John, and Mary Magdalene stood at the foot of the cross on Calvary, they thought it was truly the darkest day of their lives. They had no idea what was to come, that God would take such horror, tragedy, and sorrow and bring about such joy. That's the paradox of the cross. And as people of faith, that's what we're called to hope in and believe in the crosses and sufferings of our lives as well. Today, as we celebrate that and remember that in the life of Jesus, let us also pray for the grace to be able to be open to that in our lives as well.